All right, I'll call the City of Elkhorn Legislative and Regulatory Standing Committee to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Ron Dunwoody.
Here.
Scott McClory.
Here.
Peter Harvey.
Here.
We have several items for discussion tonight and consideration. First one is to consider a new application for the Greatest Hits Social Tap Class B fermented malt beverage and Class B liquor licenses at 39 North Wisconsin Street. Agent Sarah Lechner. I didn't see any concerns from the police inspection.
No, inspection came back fine. I believe they have a form they need to file with the DOR, taking over the beer that was left behind the purchase, but other than that, everything was fine.
Good. And everything was fine on the fire inspection then, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Scott, Peter, any concerns on this?
I assume we have the vacancy from the previous lessee for the liquor license?
Yes, the previous bar owner surrendered her license before they submitted the application.
Thought I saw that, okay, thank
And
you.
also their occupancy and sign permit is pending as well, so it would be contingent to those permits.
Okay. Do we have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion to approve it. pending
I'll
the,
second.
That's what the contingencies.
Yep.
That-
pending those contingencies.
All right, any further discussion on that? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed, goes forward to be done. Second is discussion and possible decision regarding ordinance number 2026-01. Excuse me, an ordinance to amend section 5.14 of the Elkhorn Municipal Code titled Recovery Costs. Lane, do you have anything?
Sure, do you want me to open this up, Chief?
Go ahead.
Okay. The fire chief and your administrator asked us to put together an ordinance to expand your cost recovery tools for costs that you incur when your fire department responds. So that's what this ordinance does. Previously, your ordinance was fairly limiting, or the current one that says, you know, if you violate, we can charge you some costs, but it doesn't account for other situations where your fire department responds, like for example, onto a highway, or if you have non-residents, or the way that this new ordinance is structured, if somebody isn't part of your area for service via the fire agreement. So that's what this does. There are two sections to the code. So it's just generally for mitigation rates and cost recovery. And then also the section dealing specifically with roadway vehicle emergency responses, billing and reimbursement required. As a part of that, we have a resolution where the chief had reviewed some recommendations from a fire recovery billing company that's probably we're going to hit maybe the next meeting agenda with that agreement, where they had made some recommendations for the kinds of services that are typically billed out for, and some recommendations on cost for those. So if there's any specific questions, we're here to answer them, or if Chief, if you want to add anything, or Adam, if you want to add anything, of course.
Yes, ma'am. So where this all started was, we used to use a billing company called Andres. Andres got sold out to EMS-MC. EMS-MC does not do billing for anything fire-related, accident-related, anything. They in turn use a third party through them for any fire recovery costs. Because we did not have a resolution or anything in our code section, they cannot bill for anything. So we used to bill, when past administration was here, was $500 for an accident. That's what we would bill. We have no grounds to bill for anything without a resolution or without a code in place. And that's where this came up, and then the gentleman from Fire Recovery had given us a basic cost breakdown, and what that's mainly gonna be for is gonna be for non-residents or people that aren't in the service district, or any gross violations. We're not gonna charge for going to a structure fire. I'm not going to charge for an accident if it's a city or if it's a resident of the service area. I don't agree with that, but if we can recover some costs and kind of recoup, help offset some of the money that the fire department costs, that's what I'm trying to do, trying to help out monetarily wise, so we can recoup some of the costs. We haven't been able to bill for accidents in It's been about a year and a half, I think.
Oh, long overdue on, Peter, do you have anything on this? Scott?
Just a couple of thoughts. I think it's important when this gets sent to full council that we make sure that the citizens are aware that you're not gonna get an additional charge for a crash or if your house catches on fire, et cetera. Because they're gonna go, why am I paying taxes?
Exactly.
Where's my money going, you know, kind of thing. So I think we really need to make sure we're clear on, out of the service area, yes. Not an Elkhorn resident, yes, kind of thing. I think that's super important. And the other question I had, the second thing was, I'm assuming these rates are comparable to the other fire departments in the county?
These are national
National
standards,
standards?
nationally
Okay.
standardized rates.
Okay. Those are my only two questions, because when I first read it, I was like, oh, people are not gonna like this, but now that it's been explained further, I get it.
That's what I said too when I seen the cost of it.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a motion then to move this forward to full council.
I'll make that motion to move this forward.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, move, 26-01 to full council. And next item is discussion and possible decision regarding the resolution number 2026-02. A resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhorn establishing the mitigation rate schedule for cost recovery for fire and emergency medical services under section 5.14 of the City of Elkhorn Code of Ordinances.
This is the resolution
Right.
that puts that into place.
And the only question I had on that, if I could, is publishing rates like this, which is fine, but if the need for more money comes in, for example, a level one in 2 years is now at 702. Is there any way to build in an escalator for, I don't know, inflation or any other costs like that, or would it just have to come back to council and at that time?
It would need to come back to council, so you
Alright.
can do it by just amending it by adopting a revised resolution.
Okay.
I would encourage, every time, if yearly you review the fee schedules, this would also be a schedule that you would review at that time. So probably put it on the same calendar review cycle as you might review your other fees.
All right, thank you.
Do we have that set up already?
The fee schedule?
Like, you know, right now you can say ordinance blah, blah, blah is set for review for 2027, it's already in the calendar. Like, do we already have that set up? Because if we do, I guess I'm not remembering it.
Yeah, we've been trying to become more standardized in terms of reviewing all of our fees at the end of the fall and getting them updated. So yes, that is in the,
Okay.
and it's something I've talked to Rebecca about, is trying to provide a more comprehensive overall fee schedule for the city as a whole, because we have fees, obviously, every department, I mean, Park and Rec across the board. So we're trying to get a more comprehensive document of all those fees to make it easier to then review and update annually, so. And that is just one advantage of not putting the rates into the ordinance, but putting it into a resolution makes it a lot easier for us to update, so.
I'll make a motion to send that resolution forward to city council.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Go forward to council. And the last item for discussion and possible decision regarding drafting policy for accepting monetary, non-monetary, and in-kind donations. Is this yours, Adam?
Yeah, so this will be relatively brief. This is just, the PD recently got a $2,000 donation, and the question is, okay, what is the process for handling these donations? What's the approval? And so we don't have anything on our books as to how donations are supposed to be handled. So, in talking to the auditor, they recommend that certainly donations be approved by the council, accepted by the council. So, this is just do you want us to move forward with putting together a proposed policy for how to handle donations? That's really what this is just looking for. If you don't have a strong feeling, obviously we won't, but that's just really looking for some guidance on starting to put together a policy. And two, if you do want us to, is there let's say a dollar threshold that you want that policy to apply to? Would it be everything above $500, $100, all donation amounts? You know, just, I don't know if you have something in mind in terms of the cash value of those. So,
We certainly don't want to have to review if the police department or the fire department gets dropped off some food or something. So I think we have to set some dollar amount that sort of makes sense, that these guys don't have to feel obligated to say, hey, somebody brought us a box of donuts today.
I think that goes hand in glove with the non-monetized. You know, if it's any kind of food that, you know, and we see,
Postings all
we
the
see
time.
posts all the time from Walworth County Sheriff and Elkhorn PD, hey, thanks Casey's, thanks, you know, Quick Trip, whatever. I don't see that there's a conflict there. They appear to be already pretty transparent about it. As far as monetary, I would assume, since we got the two chiefs here, the monetary has to be once in a blue moon. I mean, the chances of somebody just walking up and saying, hey, here's $2,000, go, you know, buy yourself a new, you know, AED or whatever. I can't imagine that happens all that often. So anything monetary, I'd like it to come across to our desk so that we're aware of it, so we don't get, you know, side eye from somebody who goes, why did we just spend $2,000 on blah, blah, blah? You know, I didn't know oh yeah, it was donated by, you know, Elkhorn Wine and Spirits. He gave the guy $2,000 or whatever. I would like to see those, whether the amount is $10 or $10,000 personally, unless they're happening all the time and we just don't know about it.
It's an integrity thing too.
I'm sorry?
It's an integrity thing.
Sure,
Don't
absolutely.
Over and above.
Right. So I don't know how the rest of you all feel about that. That's the way I feel.
That's the way I'd feel about it too.
And in-kind donations as well. Because again, you have the potential for somebody to go, who's your buddy, who's your pal? And then you don't get billed for this whatever service they're providing or in-kind donation that they're like, they don't have to, we have to report this to the council, but this isn't money. It's 10,000 free oil changes. We don't have to report that to the council. It's no money involved. So I'm not cool with that.
No.
So just to, you know, keep it above board and you know, so that's where I'm at on it.
Move ahead, you know, for staff to look into any other municipalities have something like this, but at least you have basic guidance on this. Peter, you haven't said it, no.
Corey, what's happened with when we get donations, they just go into they go into the fund, what do they do? I know it isn't regular, but usually a couple times a year we'll get donations, whether it be $100 or $20 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's been going into kind of to be shared as an offset of the basically fees and stuff and shared with the townships basically. Unless there's a policy, unless somebody can come up with a reason that they are intending it for, which may be having a form or something available, that if they're intending it to be towards something else, and unless we know what that is, it's kind of been just put into the regular third-party kind of reimbursement type of a category.
I assume if we don't already have one, that we could create a real quickie, simple form. You know, who gave us 20 bucks? Ken Minell, here's his address, blah, blah, blah. Said use it for whatever you want. I mean, I assume we already have that form or something similar, or we do an email, how do we do it? Right now?
We haven't really had very many of them.
Okay, so it is
we
once in a
have
blue
not
moon then?
yet, yeah.
Okay. I think having it be a policy is smart. You know, whether you're going with the fire standard for accreditation or law enforcement, there's already a policy in place for those things, including donations. So cheat and just go into their PDF and change McGuanago PD to Elkhorn PD and hit print. And that's what I would recommend. But as far as food goes, no, I don't see that up. We need to do that.
Any further discussion? Good to go on it then, Adam? Elaine? Thank you.
Yes.
Going forward, the policy, when it's drafted, will be coming back to us?
Yes,
then, or-
yeah, yep.
or, you know, I don't know if we need a separate meeting for that. Probably could, unless you guys disagree, we could do it like right at a COW meeting or a regular council meeting or
I'd like to
something.
do it at a
There's
regular-
5 of the 6 of us here right now,
Yeah, we
so.
do it at a regular council.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Sure.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.